I saw a movie that changed my life. The name of the movie was Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It changed my outlook on life. And the most amazing thing was I was only 6 years old. It wasn't the fact that I wanted to clean up after 7 men. No. It wasn't the fact that I wanted to marry a prince, even though I did. And it wasn't that I wanted to become a princess, even though I'm treated like one by my husband. It was the fact that I wanted the gift that Snow White had, the gift she could sing, and creatures, wildlife, forest creatures would come out and approach her, and they would be so calm, and they wouldn't be afraid of her because her voice was so sweet. And that's what I wanted, and I prayed daily for it. I didn't know how I was going to find out if I had the gift, for you see, I lived in a small town outside of Chicago, Illinois. We didn't have forest. We didn't have very many trees. We had little grass. We had lots of parking lots and big apartment buildings, but that was it. Not a place where you would find wildlife. So I prayed, but I did overhear my parents talking about a trip that we would be taking soon to West Virginia. Now, I had heard all about West Virginia. I had never been there, but I heard about it. They had lots of trees and lots of fields and open spaces, few houses, few cars. Didn't even have a paved road. It was dirt, and I could not wait until I got to West Virginia. Well, when we arrived, it was late, so I couldn't go outside and do much. But the next morning, I got up bright and early, and I went outside on the front porch. They had a huge front porch. It spread the entire length of the front of the house. And in front of me was forest and trees, no houses at all in view from this relative's house. And so I got on the front porch and I started to sing. And I knew God had given me the gift, so I was watching for the wildlife to come, not to be afraid of me. And I was singing, and then, did I see something move over here? So I looked, and there it was. It was brown, it was hairy, it had 4 legs, and it was coming around the house. Now that's all I knew. I didn't know what it was, but I was so excited. All I could think is, God has given me the gift. I have the gift. And he came closer and closer. Now let me tell you, there is a part of me that knew when this animal, this hairy 4-legged creature, was getting too close. And so then I began to change my prayer. I was like, okay, God, that's close enough. I know I have the gift, but that's close enough. I'll quit singing and it'll stop coming and the creature will return back to the forest. But it didn't. It didn't return. It kept coming closer and closer. And so now I am praying very diligently, please God, take the gift from me. I don't want the gift. I don't want the gift anymore. But the creature kept coming. Now it's coming up the front steps. I'm standing at the top of the steps. It's getting closer. Now it is stretching out on its hind legs. Its front legs are touching my leg. I have shorts on and it's touching my leg. I don't want it to touch my leg. I just want it to go away. I can feel the blood flowing out of my face. I can feel my knees getting weak. I can't scream. I can't yell. I can't run. I'm just standing there in my mind, my 6-year-old mind. Please, God, take the gift from me. I don't want this gift. At that very moment, the front door opened up, and my uncle walked out. And he seemed to be talking to this brown, furry, 4-legged creature. And I listened, and he called her Fluffy. He called her a her. She wasn't a he. It wasn't an it. She was a girl. No one told me that my uncle had raised this creature, which I found out that day was a groundhog. He had raised her and she lived around the corner of the house. So when she heard me singing, it wasn't the gift. It was that she was used to begging for food out at the front porch. Her favorite thing in all the world to eat was juicy fruit gum. No one told me that. So the moral of the story is to be careful what you pray for, because God just might give it to you in the form of a groundhog who loves to eat juicy fruit gum. I mentioned that my husband was a prince, and he is a prince to me. But he didn't always live like a prince. This story illustrates it. I got up one morning to take care of the girls, our children's breakfast, and I noticed that right beside the refrigerator is the microwave, and the front of the microwave was cracked in thousands of pieces. It looked like an explosion had happened right there at the control panel. I didn't know what happened, so I thought I better bring this to my husband's attention. Something terrible has happened. He's Mr. Fix-It, that he fixes everything in our home. He tries before he throws it away. He has saved us lots of money being talented in this gift God has given him. So I go and I find him and I said, Alan, something's wrong with my microwave. He doesn't act surprised. He doesn't even ask what. He just looks at me. I said, it looks like the front of it has had an explosion. It's cracked in millions of pieces. Again, no surprise, no comment. So then I know. So I look at him and I said, what did you do to my microwave? For I knew he had done something. He was not acting normal. And he said, without batting an eye, I punched it. He punched my microwave. And I could only imagine, what could my microwave do that would upset you enough to punch my microwave? And I ask you, what did the microwave do to you? Well, he said it wasn't the microwave, it was you. He said, remember last night I asked you to stay home with me, not to go to Vacation Bible School, not to work at the church, but to spend time with me, for you had been away from me for 2 or 3 evenings, and I wanted to spend some time with you. And I said, I remember, and I told you I couldn't. I was the director of Vacation Bible School. They were counting on me to be there. I needed to be there. And so when I didn't stay, he got mad. He heated up his food, for I had told him, your supper is in the microwave, just heat it up and you'll be fine. I'll be back in a couple hours. Well, he heated up his food and then he punched the microwave. Now, I don't know why he chose my microwave. He could have chose something that belonged to him, but he didn't. He chose my microwave. When I heard that, I was not happy. For 2 weeks, every time I cooked a meal after that, I would send the girls out to him and say, tell your father the food is ready, it's hot. If he doesn't come right now, it'll be cold, and I have no way to heat it up, to get in here and eat. He heard that for 2 weeks before he bought me a new microwave. I appreciate that. Well, now he lives by a motto, which a prince should live by this motto. Happy life, happy wife. So if you want to have a happy life, men, you need to keep your wife happy. And punching the microwave does not make her happy. So remember that. And have a good evening. Bye-bye.